Welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast. Coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, on the Bay to LA. Yes, and today we're talking Mandela Effect and D-Wave computers and multiple dimensions. Man, it's kind of crazy. Going deep into the night. Thanks for joining us. Light them if you got them. Yes, indeed. Give you a second to get yourself comfortable. We're going to do the same. You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast. Yes, sir. What a beautiful day. Yes, indeed. Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday weekend, and Dark Skies Podcast weekend. As we go into the weekend, ready, willing, and able. Talking about the Mandela Effect and just trying to answer a few questions, man, about this crazy subject. And I know some of y'all been following us, and I know y'all know that this is wild and this is crazy, and it just gets crazier as we go. But, man, it doesn't get easier, I tell you that much. But let's get the introductions out the way, and we got a lot to talk about. I'm your host, L.C. Graves. Thank you. Mikey Mike's in the building. Jim sitting right here in front of me, helping out with the sound levels. Jennifer helping out in the ones and twos. And the whole crew's here. As usual, working late into the night. Talking about this Mandela Effect, trying to figure out, this crazy subject. And for those who don't know, the Mandela Effect basically is just a condition, a human condition, where parts of the human population seems to have memories that don't seem to match current reality or any other reality. Let's just say that your memories don't match history or reality or current reality or past reality. I mean, we're talking the Mandela Effect. We're talking every aspect of human existence being affected. We're talking reality. We're talking time, space, things written, said, logos, businesses, all kinds of changes. Changes to every possible thing that you can imagine. So one of the changes that we're talking about today is we're talking about just the overall effect on the memory and what's really happening when it comes to how you remember things versus, how they happened or how memory records them. So, your memory record things, history record things, or there's a written history of things, we call it recorded history. Oh God, this is so confusing. But anyway, we remember things in our lives, right? We remember things that we watch on TV. We grew up as children. We remember the area, the neighborhoods that we grew up with, the people that we grew up with. We remember things that were said. We remember watching movies, our favorite movies, and our favorite songs. Well, when we talk about the Mandela Effect, we talk about changes across the board. And I'm talking about all aspects of reality, from things that were said, and maybe where you went to school, or things that you learned in school, or what state did you live in. It is just endless when we start talking about the amount of changes that are basically being displayed here. But what does it mean when we say that things have changed? I mean, if you remember going to school a certain way every day, and then all of a sudden things just seems different along the path that you're taking every day, and you really can't make it out. But can you? I mean, the Chevron logo, vehicle logos, you're starting to go past businesses that look different. And you ask yourself, is it me? How is it possible that I'm noticing, small differences? And it's hard to really just put your finger on it, because when we talk the Mandela Effect, it's usually a subtle change. Like the Chevron sign, it could be red at the top and blue at the bottom on the little chevrons. Or, is it reversed? Is it blue at the top and red at the bottom? How about the stoplights? The red light, is it at the top? Or is it the green light at the top? And which do you remember? So that's what we talk about when we really get into discussing the Mandela Effect, because it's so many different areas, and you can't just focus on one area, because if you did, then you can be like, well, the JFK assassination, let's just focus on that. And how could it possibly change? Or let's just focus on, Ford Motor Company and their logo. So many things. So as we start to get into some of the possibilities of what could have possibly caused some of these changes, and what do some of these changes mean, we really get into some far out ideas and theories, especially when we attach the Mandela Effect logo or just title to just the subject that we're talking about. Now, we can talk about changes and what could possibly cause these changes. Well, we definitely have so many different theories on the cause, right? Whether it's 2012, or whether it's CERN, or whether it's human consciousness, or whether it's just something that we haven't figured out yet. All I know is that it's so many different elements when it comes to this subject, and it doesn't it doesn't end. You know what I mean? It doesn't end just with, okay, it's ended with time and space. No, we're talking like physical reality. We're talking just our minds and our memories. So memories are altered, or just the things that we remember are not matching the things that are, that happened, versus so many people who know for a fact, oh, I've been to this many concerts and I followed this group, and I know that when they sung, they sung these particular lyrics, and now these lyrics are not a part of the song. And, it's so many cases where you watch the television show and you say, no, that's not right. Or you watch the movie, your favorite movie, and something's wrong. Or it doesn't end there, folks. covers so many different aspects of reality. For the astronomers who used to look up at the stars, there's less stars. For the people who used to go visit the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty is now in a new location. South America is in a new location. But what could cause these and what could keep record and keep track? We often talk about the Mandela Effect, but we don't really understand, what could power such change. Or, we're talking mathematic equations and algorithms that are continuously changing and altering. So what type of, technology would be available or is available that we could say, hey, this technology definitely, could be used for something like this, from AI to D-Wave computers to Large Hadron Colliders, right? Well, all of these things, could be taken into consideration when we talk about such a massive event, especially when we talk about something that's affecting reality and it's affecting what people think, what people see, what people have saw. When you read the Bible, you read in different passages, right? And some of these passages are altered and changed. And then you notice the changes. And you say, okay, the wolf is not supposed to lay down with the lamb. It's the lion. But you read it and you say, okay, well, the changes have definitely been made. So we're going to get into how is it possible for such changes to reality to be made, if possible, for it to be done. Are we going crazy? Well, if we're not going crazy, these changes definitely have been made, and it has to be something that's causing them. So we're going to take a look at D-Wave computers when we come back. And, man, there's a lot going on, people. We got to open our eyes. So we're going to take a quick break. Listen to some Keith Sweat. Like a fat one. Light them if you got them. We'll be right back. You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast. Man, I'm trying to keep my mind right because all of this stuff is just deep. So we'll be right back.
Till the very last drop, I want you to holler when you want me to stop. And who can love you like me? Who can sex you like me? Who can treat you like me, my baby? Nobody, baby. And who can do it like me?
Oh, yeah, you're listening to Dark Skies Podcast coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Yes, indeed. And we're having fun talking about this Mandela Effect, trying to figure out what's going on. And have you ever heard of the D-Wave computer? Now, let me give you a little education on the D-Wave computer. Now, basically, whenever something big needs to be done by humans, and we don't want to do all the thinking, don't want to do all the calculations, far too big. Space program, internet, large hadron colliders. Well, you're going to need something like a supercomputer to do all these calculations and keep up with all of these rhythmic, um, just numbers. But is that all we are? Numbers? Well, if you're going to keep track of all this information, then you're going to have to really have a strong, powerful, what we call supercomputer. Well, basically, D-Waves are computers are supercomputers used to keep up with these massive numbers that are coming in. When you think about, okay, I want to create a reality, or I want to recreate reality. Well, if you want to recreate reality, you want to take in everything in consideration, right? I want to recreate reality on a simulated plane. Okay, where I need to think about everything, right? I need to think about weather. I need to think about the continents. I need to think about the human population. I need to think about the location of different monuments. I need to think about historical events. I need to think about present. I need to think about the possible future. I need to think about all of these things on so many different levels. And basically, this is a quantum computer, because this quantum computer is going to be able to compute on a quantum level, which is on, it's off, it's neutral, all at once. So basically, it's covering every aspect and every possibility all at once. So you're looking at all of these different possibilities, and these computers are basically in charge of, maintaining and all of this data, crunching the numbers. So super D-Wave computer. So a lot of people, when we was talking about the D-Wave computer earlier, me and Mikey, we was wondering, is it possible for a D-Wave computer to recreate a reality, as in our reality? And are we living in some type of simulation or recreation of the reality that we all started out in? Well, there's a lot of evidence pointing towards this possibility. Now, just the whole Mandela effect, the whole mystery, the conspiracy, the whole kit and caboodle. Now, in order to come up with something like this, or just to even think of something like this, I mean, you would have to have just major amounts of information about each and every one of us, information about the world. And where could you find all that information? Well, the internet is a good place, because it's a little bit of all of us on the internet, right? Because we all have websites and accounts and emails and, podcasts, and it's just all kinds of stuff going on to put us out there for the world, or the D-Wave world, to collect data. So data mining, when it comes to each and every one of us, you pulling in all of this information and you recreating a reality by taking the information that you had or you received from, the past reality, and you're uploading it into the new reality using these D-Wave computers. So is this possible? Well, it is something to make you think, to be honest with you. It's incredible if you only begin to just to think of what it means when you start to build these computers in hopes of just taking all of this information in and using it wisely. I mean, because what where does all of this information go? And when you're missing pieces here and there, and that's like the differences, I think. So what did the computer do if some of the information is, let's say, not available or lost or in translation? And then you may have a glitch, right? You might have a funny looking cloud, or you might have weather patterns in the wrong place, or you might have a continent located in the wrong location, or you might have the wrong group of population numbers, or you might have, logos slightly altered or wrong just a little bit because the computer has to make up for what it didn't know, right? Can the Mandela Effect really be accounted for by D-Wave computer mistakes? Computer errors. Oops, I put a hat on the statues of the Easter Island statues. But a D-Wave computer is not going to say oops, right? It's just going to make the mistake and just keep pushing on. Not even noticing that it's a mistake. Like, oops, I put 6 people in a car, during the JFK assassination day. So that's something to make you think, right? Is it possible that we're looking at some type of D-Wave errors? Or it's just bad memories? Well, we're going to take another quick break and we're going to come back because this is interesting. And, I believe D-Wave computers errors could account for some of these weird changes that we're seeing and we're noticing on our day-to-day lives in this current reality that we live in. So, hey, something to think about. You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California.
I had an idea in my head. I pictured this going differently. I meant every word that I said. You should have spent more time listening. All the things that I put a hold on, all for you to hit me with a hold on. What makes you so ready right now? After I waited on you for so long. Why you wanna be my love? Is it just for show? Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love, love. Why you wanna be my love? Is it just show? Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love, love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you want to? Why you want to? Why you want to? Why you want to? I had an idea in my head. I pictured this going differently. Even when you sleep in my bed, I know you're not mine officially. And all the things I put a hold on, all for you to hit me with a hold on. What makes you so ready right now? After I waited on you for so long. Why you wanna be my love? Is it just for show? Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love, love. Why you wanna be my love? Is it just show? Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love, love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. Why you wanna be my love? My love, my love. You got your trophies, I know how you like to show 'em off and shine 'em up and line 'em up. Oh, I'm not your trophy, baby. I won't let you show me off or shine me up or line me up. No, you got your trophies, I know how you like to show 'em off and shine 'em up and line 'em up. not your trophy, baby. I won't let you show me off or shine me up or line me up. No. Why you wanna be my love? Is it just for show? Why you wanna be my love, my love, my love, love? Why you wanna be my love? Is it just show? Why you wanna be my love, my love, my love, love? Why you wanna be my love, my love, my love? Why you wanna be my love, my love, my love? Why you wanna be my love, my love, my love? Why you wanna be my love, my love, my love? Why you want to? Why you want to? Why you want to? Why you want to? Why you wanna be my
You're listening to Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. From the Bay to LA. All the way to the East Coast. What's up, Virginia? Tri-state area. Philadelphia, New York. Yes, indeed. All the way down to my friends in Florida and across the pond. UK. Finland. Switzerland. Yes, indeed. I see you, Netherlands. And above our heads, like the top of the statues of Easter Island, we have Canada. But for real, y'all, I thank each and every one of y'all for joining us, for staying with us throughout season 3, and as we prepare for season 4. And today we're talking the Mandela Effect, and we're talking about, D-wave computers, also known as quantum computers. Now, we get these computers, right? These computers that are powering these Large Hadron Colliders over in France and Geneva, Switzerland. Yes, the LHD, CERN. But it takes so much computing power to take in all of this information, right? I mean, we're talking particle research, accelerating particles to near speed of light and colliding and taking in all of the information and trying to find out exactly what it is that we're seeing. Well, I tell you one thing, it gets crazier and crazier and crazier as time goes by, especially when we start to look at some of these different changes in reality. And I ask you, is the changes in reality actually changes in reality, or is there some type of glitch in what we call a matrix? A matrix created by a D-wave computer, a quantum computer. Yes, a computer that is recreating reality to the best of its ability, leaving out bits and pieces, small little quantum computer errors that we call Mandela effects. Yes, accidentally placing South America way to the east. Out of the way, definitely not South America no more. But just looking at the world and looking at the things that's happening in the world, looking at the climate, looking at people's personalities, looking at the historical events, looking at just the physical location of things, looking at logos and historical rhetoric, written books. So many things affected. But is it all affected, or is it just one thing affected? And we're talking about reality. Reality has been rewritten by a quantum computer, an AI technology created not maybe in this dimension, but maybe in another dimension, or maybe in this dimension, and working simultaneously with other, D-wave computers from other dimensions, all combining to come together. Who knows? I tell you one thing, that these computers are so smart and so fast with their calculations that it would take something like this in order to create, something like this. This current reality that we live in, this reality that seems to be slightly altered. But is it altered, or are we looking at D-wave quantum computer errors? Yes, errors. Oops, I messed up the Ford logo. Oops, Curious George, I erased his tail. Just little small things, or is it small things? Or is it big things? It just depends on your perception of things. Now, reality is changing, but how? How can reality change? What can make Starbucks coffee? What can change the logo on the Captain Crunch box and make it say Cap'n? I don't understand. Or is it beyond my comprehension? Because this is not human thinking. This is this is some type of automated thinking, right? Yes, artificial technology, artificial intelligence, AI. Well, I notice in this new dimension, AI seems to be really popular as it develops more and more. It takes over. But for what? What is the real use of this AI? These supercomputers, these D-Wave computers. And are they recreating reality and not doing a very good job as errors are left and right? I don't know, man. All I know is that we need to come up with a resolution, an answer. We need to figure it out because this is not going to end. It's not going to end. And it's not pretty either, to be honest with you, because I spend a lot of my time researching this topic, and I don't come no closer to the answer. But I do know one thing, this little tidbit, this little bit, this clue, it might lead us somewhere. D-Wave errors, quantum computer errors. It would account for things not being exactly the way they used to be. It's like the Matrix, what we're living in. Program after program after program. Program behavior. Program modified climate, temperatures. All of this is a program. And D-Wave, a computer capable of coming up with such calculations in order to create such a complicated reality. But how big is it? It doesn't stretch as far as real reality, does it? I mean, why would the computer bother? Is that why we don't have as many stars? The computer leaves information out in order to be more efficient. I mean, if it just took everything, you had to have all the stars, all the bumblebees, all the butterflies, all the different animals and insects and different weather conditions and all of these things. I guess the computer just can't simulate it all because a lot of it is missing. So is it something that we can wrap our heads around when we start to speak of quantum thinking and quantum computing? When we start to think about the Mandela Effect and start to ask ourselves, what can cause changes in reality? Or are there multiple realities? Are we talking multi-dimensions? Well, whatever we're talking, something has to cause it. Something has to calculate the information that's being, expelled. It's all kinds of information. Each and every one of us are going through a different aspect of this reality. And every time that we go through something, it creates more information for the quantum computer to record, analyze. It's data, people. It's like we're data and we create more data and we experience more and more in this simulated reality. So who knows, people? In order to try to figure it out, we're going to have to keep breaking it down and down and down and down. Like I told you, it's an outer space and it's an inner space. And when we get into CERN and we get into this particle research and we start to search for multiple dimensions and multiple realities and multi-universe theory, then, we're talking inner space theory, So when you start to crack the code to get into this inner space and multiple dimensions and you start to cross over, then, hey, that's incredible. But when you get into destroying reality and recreating reality using these quantum computers, then that's a completely different thing. Now when I talk of multi-dimensions, we're talking destroying, recreating. So it gives you something to think about on all these different levels and wonder that which one holds the most water, which one is the most possible. Are all of them possible? Well, that gives you something to think about. These D-Wave computers, in order to create a reality and to control a reality and to take in all this data and analyze this data correctly, you're going to need more than the human brain. You're going to need more than some of the smartest people in the world. You're going to need a quantum computer, a super D-Wave computer capable of calculating all of this information as it come in every second of every day. So that's just my theory. I'm working on it. I'm hoping they gain more traction because I'm studying D-Wave computers more to get a better idea of AI and AI technology and wondering what's its effect on this possible reality and is some of the Mandela effects and some of the changes that we recognize and we consider errors, maybe possible AI errors, D-Wave quantum computer errors. Well, I think it's possible, and I'm definitely going to continue to research it. And leave your comments in the bottom if you think, I might be heading in the right direction with this. So I love your comments, especially when they're well thought out and, they add to the discussion. Because every one of us want to come up with the answer. So it's not a race, it ain't a competition. It's just us all working together. And that's what's going to make it work. We're the human version of the quantum computer. So let's come up with the answers together, people. Leave your comments at the bottom, like, share, and don't keep us a secret. I mean, Dark Skies Podcast is a community, a growing community all around the world. Thanks to all our friends on YouTube. They've been beautiful to us. Thanks to Spreaker.com as well as iHeartRadio. I mean, Season 3 has been a smashing success. And as we get close, we're about to jump into Season 4. And it's going to be a lot more of what we did in Season 3, but just tenfold. And a whole bunch more information and a whole bunch more files have come in, more research. It's just, Season 4 is just going to be just like Season 3. It's just a whole lot more content and a whole lot more shows. So we're working hard. We thank you for all of your support. Thank you for every time that you listen, you download the show. We appreciate every engagement. And we continue to work hard because we feel like we're doing a service to those who need this. Hey, we need this. So let's work together. It's the most important event in human history. And hey, I'm not afraid to lead the way. I'm your host, LC Grace. Mikey Max over there. Jim sitting in front of me. Jennifer the ones and twos. As we go deep into the night, Dark Skies Podcast, never waver. We do our part because our part is not done. I feel like this is my destiny. It is yet to be fulfilled. I want to figure out what happened. Not just to me, but to all of us. And what continues to happen. And do these D-Wave computers have anything to do with it? Capable of running the internet. Capable of running this LHD, Large Hadron Collider. So why not recreate reality to the best of its ability? Creating small errors, rifts in dimensions, rifts in reality, changes, Mandela effects. Well, it could be the D-Wave, quantum computer errors. Who knows? But we're going to keep looking and we're going to keep wondering and we're going to keep asking. So, thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon. You've been listening to Dark Skies Podcast, live from Los Angeles, California. And we out. Good night, everybody.